Oh, I'm a bad boy. I just thought of a scripture about this. A day unto the Lord is 1,000 years. So the latter days has to be at least 2 days to qualify in the plural. And most often it's 3 days, because 2 days usually takes on the double ending in Hebrew. So 3,000 years for the latter days. I guess we've got a long ways to go. The church can go on for another 3,000 years. Travis Wayne so the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints is specifically named because of it being the latter days back in the 1830s. And so I guess after almost a couple hundred years, how many couple hundred more years until it's no longer the latter days? I had another Mormon find my very old and obsolete, in great need of an update video on my old channel about the signs in the heavens concerning return to Missouri. And of course, since then I've learned that Joseph Smith had actually corrected that. That's a Mormon myth that was perpetuated back in his day, and he addressed it in a sermon that never got put in the Doctrine and Covenants. Excuse me. It was 19 July 1840, and in there he said, there are those of you who have speculated that we're going to return to Missouri. You're wrong. We're going to build the mountain cities of Zion and New Jerusalem right here in southern Illinois. And I don't know if that's a southern Illinois accent. I never lived in Illinois. I have watched shows from Chicago. Most of them are gang crime shows. I can't do that accent. I can't do the Long Island Italian accent either. My first 3 months was out there on my church service mission as a 19-year-old, and I could never pick it up. Moved to Flatbush, Brooklyn, picked up it's over 50 different nationalities, but I picked up the Jamaican Queens and Haitian and other accents right quick. So anyway, he said a lot of other things that were highly important for us to know. That because the church did not publish it in the Doctrine and Covenants, we don't know, and as a result there are many errors in our thinking about how the second coming is supposed to occur according to Joseph Smith and original Mormonism. And as a result, I've done videos explaining that the Christ we're looking for is not the Christ of Christianity, as Mormons insist. Mormons are Christian. We just have a different God, and we worship in the temple, and we believe in a Heavenly Mother, and on and on and on. But we're Christian. See, Jesus Christ, Christian. That's not even the name of our God. It's Amen. so, yeah, many errors have crept into Mormonism because of just one talk that got left out, never got put in the 1844 version after he was murdered, nor in the Brigham Young's 1876 version, the year before he died. There were a number of scriptures. Some of them were by Joseph, as confirmed by the Times and Seasons having published them. But others, such as 132, we have no source origin for confirmation that it came from Joseph Smith. And I've already done a linguistic analysis video for you guys, not by him. So Mormons should be relieved that Joseph did not give his wife Emma a death threat if she didn't allow him to have 10 virgins. So the question is, who put it there and who wrote it? In the Joseph Smith papers, it's all by itself, no additional commentary. And the 2 monogamy chapters were removed from that edition, as well as the lectures on faith, which was also removed in that edition. And so, yeah, many changes took place during Brigham Young, and many of which were attributed to Joseph Smith, where we have no confirmation or corroborating evidence to support his accusations and speculations. But a lot of fun little myths about an angel coming to Joseph Smith and threatening him with a sword, saying, if you don't start polygamy immediately, I will strike you down. And so apparently he didn't do it right away, unless you consider 12 years or 10 years if you trust those who after Brigham Young announced that they're practicing polygamy, or after Joseph Smith was murdered, there were those among Brigham Young's loyalists who were going around saying that polygamy was being practiced in secret, and in order to support women back in those days when women were considered property, women of today, I think, forget that. They required a man to take care of them, and so Brigham Young and crew extorted many of the Mormon women to be secretly married to them so that they can go with them to the Salt Lake Valley and participate in polygamy, which he then publicly announced in 1852. And so after 1852, then others started making the claims of the story of the angel. And so yeah, it's not confirmed that Joseph even practiced at all. And in order for those women to be allowed to go, they had to throw Joseph under the bus. And so, yeah, lots of accusations, but no evidence. So, but yeah, lots of changes. And so the question is the current Mormonism the correct interpretation of the latter days? Is it going to happen as they sort of claim? It's a little vague and it's contradictory and it's confusing, but there are those, like the guy who commented on my old email, he thinks he got it. He sort of left out a few things. He thinks that after 18 2031. That's when the Mormons are going to leave Utah and go back to Missouri, and Christ will come and add them onto Alma and all that stuff. So, according to him, we've got a long time coming. And I've seen that with the 3 generations before me growing up in the church. They'd be telling me about how, oh yeah, in my day, Mormons thought that it was going to be the end of the world, and it never happened. And so, yeah, even when I moved here, the patriarch, the one who lays his hands on mostly teenagers before they go on their mission, before they leave home to go to college. If a woman can't get married and isn't rebellious and wanting to insist on going on a mission to prove that she's equal to a man. You do know that when Hinckley came out in priesthood meeting way back in the day, that his 2 granddaughters who were of mission age, the next day filed their mission papers. Just hilarious. I saw their pictures in their mission tags online. Just hilarious. And so, if you don't know Joseph's original theology, doctrine for the second coming, are you going to just dismiss somebody like me who tells you about it? You got to ask yourselves that. Who do you put your trust in, your faith in? Is it Joseph Smith, or is it the current president of the church? Because it's not Brigham Young anymore. We've thrown him under the bus. We don't even acknowledge him as best as we can, despite his name still remaining at BYUs and such, in the primary song of the list of prophets' names. Ask yourself, when is the latter days? Because the current administration says that all the signs in the heavens that are going on, all the signs on earth that are going on, even the coronavirus, which is a prophecy from the story of Moses confronting Pharaoh. They had a coronavirus, and that's what allowed the house of Israel to go free and have the Exodus. And so, if this isn't it, what signs are we looking for in the future? Because the signs in the heavens are specific. You don't get to say, oh, it's like a solar eclipse, they happen all the time. No, there are specific signs that are given, and they never will happen again. This is it. If they don't happen now, if this is not the latter days, then there won't be signs for the future. And there have never been the signs in the past. So, again, who are you going to trust? Joseph Smith, or the current president of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, who claims to sit in the office of Moses, who has the title of Jesus Christ, who has the title of Latter-day Saints, who's supposed to be a prophet, seer, revelator, and not translator anymore. The Brigham Young did away with that. But Amos 3:7, surely the Lord God will do nothing, save he shall revealeth his secrets unto his servants the prophets. That passage is mistranslated, even from the Hebrew. But Mormons understand it, that the president of the church will reveal what needs to be revealed so that we can be warned in advance. Like Moses, coronavirus is coming, stay home, stay safe until it passes over. We're not going to open up for business until it passes over. We're not going to have you go back to school until it passes over. We're not going to have you go on missions until it passes over. Getting the point? Do I need to keep going? And so, who are you going to put your trust in for a knowledge of what's supposed to happen for the latter days and the timing? Because this other Mormon and other Mormons that I've seen, and Jody, I can't remember her last name anymore. I did her video the other day, weekend, last week. I don't know how long it's been. She knows her Jewish mysticism without knowing Jewish mysticism. And she knows how to quote from Scripture and from manuals that are incomplete and inaccurate and confusing and contradictory and just outright lies. But, who do we look for? And who are we going to trust? So think about that, because the church says this is all just fake news, it's a hoax, that it's not the second coming, it's still down in the future, probably on the 6th of April 2024, I'm guessing. They'll come out with a surprise guest. I mean, they already came out with a surprise idol in this last April conference. And so, this is our God. See, he's on the foundation stone, which is the church. The church created God, sculpted him. It's called the Christus. My jaw dropped. My eyes bulged out. I went, holy crap, I was just teasing my woman formerly called my second wife about this. He did it! I can't believe he did it! I was just joking. I didn't think he would actually do it. He did it! He presented an idol god in conference. So, who are you going to trust?